and welcome to another episode of Wisdom on the Porch. My name is Rania, and I am filling in for Ellis Kirkpatrick, your host. She's a little under the weather, and her voice is not the greatest to be having this interview for today, so I just wanted to help her out. And today we have with us our guest, Blaz, who will introduce himself to us, and we'll take it from there. Welcome to the show, Blaz.
Hey, thank you for having me. So yes, hey, I'm Blaz, and I am currently a leadership and career coach. But in the past, I graduated from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, and then I was in the Slovenian army. So I was a foreign national. After 5 years, I left the military, and I was in several different positions, from operations director to operations manager and regional operations director, and also an IT consultant, if you believe it or not. And my last stint was as a chief of staff for a coaching company. And then now, like for 1 year, I'm pretty much on my own at the moment. And what I'm doing here now is focusing on new managers and aspiring leaders. And I make sure that they maximize their career and leadership potential and they don't fail.
Wow. Okay. So a lot
Yeah.
of different industries that I can
Yeah.
see. And I also know a little bit of a tip that you started doing all this great work from when you were 18. Am I correct?
Yes, so I went into the military when I was 18, and I started becoming a leader. Even though at that point I legitimately didn't know what that meant, but I was getting the reps and everything, yes, when I was 18. And that was still while I was in Slovenia in the Slovenian military. And then when I was 20, I actually went into the US
Mhm.
to the US Military Academy. So yeah, it's been around 18 years now since I've been doing any type of leadership work slash
Mhm.
management work. Yeah.
Mhm. So obviously, there's a reason why you've chosen the path that you're doing, right? Do you want to share
Yes.
with us what put you on that journey to get to where you are today?
Yeah, so I've always liked the idea of helping other people. And for some reason, especially in the military, so I was in the army, so in the infantry. And one of the things that was always calling me was first helping other people and then just leading them and helping them succeed and surpass what they think was even achievable, right?
Mhm.
And one thing left to another, and I got accepted into the U.S. Military Academy at West Point in 2008, and I graduated in 2012. And from then on, pretty much was a series of successful, industries and more difficult assignments. So I started with around 20 people. I went into IT consulting, where I was leading around 11 people, and then I finished leading 120 people. And at the end, I was running 8 countries pretty much as an operations director, right? And then kind of like a light bulb moment came in onto me. I don't know how to say it better, but
Mhm.
I was like, I want to help more people. And I actually want to help new managers and new leaders, the ones that are emerging, because I do think that this is an area that pretty much all companies are failing at in training them, coaching them, mentoring them. They just pretty much let them go into, I would say, the void. And hey, if you succeed, that's great. If not, we're just going to replace it with somebody else. And I think that's the one of the worst situations you can be in, especially if you don't know how to lead, how to manage. And yeah, this is why I'm pretty much here, and this is my mission.
So then how do you do that? How do you help? Like if you can share with us.
Yes. So at the moment, I have my own coaching, and I do one-on-one coachings pretty much, and I'm also a mentor for a few people here in Slovenia. And the way I do it is, I mean, I don't want to say it's pretty simple, but
It's always simple,
we
isn't
just,
it?
yeah,
We
yeah,
complicate everything.
true, yeah. So it's mostly, of course, coaching is talking, right? So, but what we do in the end is we go through who the person is, what their beliefs are, what their values are, and from there we extract what their actual leadership style is. Because you've probably heard like so many different theories about you need to do this leadership style, you need to do that leadership style, but and of course you have all the self-proclaimed gurus that have succeeded and know better than anybody else, right? But what actually is that each and every single one of us has a little bit of a specific leadership style, based on who we are as a person, what our experiences were, and what our environment actually around us made it happen. And this is where we kind of go into the neuroscience and the brain coaching and leadership as well, because one of the things that we cannot escape is our genes and our environment, and who are we hanging out with, pretty much. And all these three together actually
they're all
put us
factors.
into a specific, yeah, exactly, and put us into like this trifecta informs us what our leadership style is. And when we have that, I also go with my clients into what are their management practices, how are they conducting meetings, and afterwards how they influence other people, how they lead up, so their managers, their bosses, how they lead their peers, how they lead their subordinates or associates, and how can then of course have more influence, and how can they succeed. Pretty much this is what we do within 3, 6, or 12 months, depending on what kind of length are we coaching.
Programs.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you find it challenging with people listening to you and following your instructions and what you have to share based on your experiences? What would you say?
So I'll answer with this. It depends, of course. You're gonna have people that are always skeptical of what I'm telling them, what I'm telling them that my experiences are, because people are always going to be skeptical. Usually, those kind of people are not my clients, because I don't even accept them into the program. But the other ones, pretty much, yes, they do accept my recommendations, my advice, because I don't just go there and tell them, hey, you need to do this because it worked for me, right? As a coach, you ask them questions and you guide them on their own self-discovery, pretty much. I don't allow them to just, because I've had questions like this, hey, can you tell me just what to do? And there are always usually people then they ask me that question, always frustrated, because I always say that, well, what do you think? Tell me about it. What would you do, right?
That's the
And
difference
then
between coaching and consulting, right? This is what we've all
exactly,
studied.
yeah.
When you're
Exactly, yeah.
consultant, then I tell you what to do. But when you're coaching, I'm helping you figure out
Exactly.
how it works for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And of course, I have some clients that are frustrated because this is not what possibly they expected at the beginning.
Yeah.
But after a few sessions, they've come to figure it out that this is the best way, because, hey, what worked for Blaz in 5 different industries is maybe not going to work for Rania in one specific industry.
Yes.
It doesn't work possibly, right? So we just go through these questions, pretty much the coaching process.
But generally speaking, like I totally understand it's not a one
Yeah.
size fits all. Generally
Yeah.
speaking, what do you think your clients gain from your program or
Mm-hmm.
from your coaching?
So the first thing is they're definitely going to be gaining clarity on what their leadership style is. That's the first one. The second one is what their values are and beliefs, because a lot of people do have values and beliefs, but they don't understand what exactly they are or how they actually portray them on the outside, right? And then the other thing, I just want to make a side note about the values and beliefs, right? Like we tend to differentiate between two of them. One of them is our own internal values and beliefs, and then the outside values and beliefs, which are usually our parents and stuff. And I've had clients before that when I asked them this and we were going in deep into the session, they were pretty much just putting their parents as values and beliefs, what they want them to do.
They
And I
don't
had a
know who they
client that,
are or what
yeah,
they want.
exactly, yeah. And I had a client, we had actually had to do like 3, 4 sessions just to get through the core of her beliefs and values. So, and after that, we had like that kind of like aha breakthrough moment. It's like, oh, this is who I am. This is what I should be doing, right? So this is what they're going to get. And then more of a, let's say, more of a consulting side of it is how to do the processes as a new team leader, as a new manager, how to conduct the meetings. There are specificities that you just need to do so that you can save a lot more time. What kind of task do you need to do? and then one or actually two of them specifically that a lot of managers think, or new leaders think, that are contradictory on what they should be doing. I always tell them you need to have at least 2 hours a day of free time, and free time is your time that you're thinking, that you're not doing anything, that you may just walk around, talk to people, or just think on where your vision for the company, the department should be. And this is something that is really not ingrained into our society, especially since I'm working mostly with US clients, because they
Right.
think you need to work, we need to be productive, like from 24/7, work 12, 16 hours a
A
day.
different
And if,
mentality.
yeah, exactly. And if I don't have the whole, my whole schedule set up that I have a meeting after meeting after meeting, then I'm not productive, which is complete BS, right? It's actually, we can only work around 6 productive hours, and then the rest of them are a lot less productive. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and this is one of the other things that my clients gain. And then kind of like the last one, because I know I've been talking quite a bit about this, is how to have influence, how to be able to promote yourself and to lead yourself and others to success, pretty much. That and the underlying kind of assumption and what people are going to get from my coaching is that they're going to be confident that they're a good leader, they're going to get better, and that they're never going to have to actually be afraid of first failure, because failure is going to happen all the time. But then also, even if they get fired or something like that, they're always going to have another job lined up, and they're
Mm.
not going to be afraid of, hey, I'm not going to have that income, I'm not going to have that. We just completely evaporate that.
Mm.
So yeah.
These are great tips. Awesome. I mean, I could imagine the transformation that happens with people that
Yeah.
join your coaching or your program. Now, you're an entrepreneur, and so am I, and so is LS.
Yeah.
And we all know, being in the world of entrepreneurship, it's not very easy for people to know that we exist. We are here to help, right? What
Yes.
would you say your biggest challenges are as an entrepreneur to have people know that you have what you got to offer to them?
uh
Big
it's yeah
question, I
it's
know.
the biggest thing is, yeah. No, but like the simple answer that I can give you is just me putting myself out there to actually, yeah, so me just putting myself out there to actually show people that I have the expertise, that I have the knowledge. So posting on LinkedIn 3 times a week, which is something that doesn't come natural to me because I'm more of an introvert. And then now, starting my new YouTube channel since December, so that I actually put myself out, so that people actually see
Awesome.
me in,
Hmm.
my beautiful face and stuff like that, which
Yes,
was one of the most excruciating experiences that I ever had, when I had to go and talk in camera.
in
Not
front of
like
the
that, right?
camera.
Right, because we're talking right now. That's, yeah,
It's a
yeah, but that
yes,
it's
when
only
it's a
in front of
conversation
like
with
a
someone, it's
camera without
different.
anybody. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so much different. It's so ridiculous. Like, and I did this before already, but it's been a few years since I was in front of a camera, not like this, right? But like
Mhm.
actual camera. And it's just so nerve wrenching, and me just going through these motions that I have to go through them and all of that. And it's this is what I'm struggling the most, pretty much, with it, and just,
I
yeah,
honestly would
pushing out.
say, I would say that you and many of us who are experiencing those
Yeah.
same fears and challenges, not that I'm minimizing what you're going through, but it's very
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah.
And we have to go through it, I guess, right? And
Yeah.
so what advice would you give another entrepreneur that is feeling what you're feeling, someone who knows introvert, who's trying to be in front of the camera, follow
Yeah.
the social media and all of that? What would your
Yeah.
advice be?
So the first one is just start.
Mhm.
You're not gonna die. Like, I'm still here, and I posted
Yeah.
several videos and several posts. And the second one is, nobody cares. Like, um, on YouTube, legitimately nobody cares. If they don't like, my
Yeah.
face, what I'm saying within the first 10 seconds, they're just gonna go. That's
Yeah.
it. And the
Yeah.
same thing with either LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, whatever your social media following is. They're either gonna just skip through your post, or they're gonna unfollow you, block you. it doesn't really matter. It will happen. It don't worry about this. And you're gonna get some hate stuff. Some people are not gonna be nice, but that
Mm,
just says more about those people than actually it says about you. So,
mm,
you just skip
mm.
them. But I also always feel anxious when I see a person unfollow me, block me, and stuff like that. And it's
Wow,
like,
you've had that
yeah,
already.
oh yeah, of course.
So
It's
it's safe
yeah.
to say you developed a thick skin.
You have to, yeah. And this is where my military time actually helped me.
Okay. Yeah, this is where all the experiences from all those roles come in handy. They didn't happen
Oh
in vain.
yes. Oh no, people didn't yell at me like from like this close. Yeah, I developed thick skin.
So where do you see yourself now moving forward? Where do
Yeah.
your vision?
So yeah, so my vision really is I want to help as many people as I can, specifically new managers and aspiring managers, right? Some of them that may not even be able to, afford coaching because let's face it, coaching,
Yeah,
especially one-on-one, can be expensive.
yeah, because it's like for a
And
period of time and set price
yeah,
for.
exactly, yeah. And what I really want to do is, and this is one of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel is, hey, if nothing else, here's the free content that is good. And there's also other people on YouTube, right, that or anywhere else that provide really great advice. And throughout this year, what I really want to do is, either get a substantial following on YouTube, and then possibly next year have either a subscription type business or kind of like some sort of a free memberships
Mm-hmm,
slash subscription memberships,
mm-hmm.
which people would then pay a small amount, but
Yes.
it would be affordable throughout the year, but they
Mm-hmm,
would still get the opportunity to do coaching with me, as in group coaching and being in a community of like-minded people that people can help each other. So kind of
mm-hmm,
like that's my vision, what I want to do. So kind of like at the end of this year and then going into
mm-hmm,
next year.
mm-hmm. So it seems that you have a good idea. Like you have many avenues, right? Like you have your coaching and you have your
Yes.
special programs, membership. You're doing your free content. You're showing yourself I'm out there.
Yeah.
Hey, this is me. This is the information I got. You're doing
Yeah.
all you can do, right? And the rest is in,
Yes.
it's up to the people who if they're
Yeah.
resonating with what you have to offer, then of course they will reach out. Do you want to share with us your YouTube channel and all of that info if you want to mention it over here? I'm sure Ellis will
Yes.
also put it up.
So I think, yeah, so my YouTube channel is Blaz.Marlot, and that's at Blaz.Marlot, and I'm gonna be there in all my smiliness and amazingness.
And your
Yeah, but
introvertedness.
then and LinkedIn is also, I think, the same. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I think that yesterday was my 10th video that I posted. So I'm pretty
Oh,
happy
don't
about that.
worry.
So yeah.
Yeah. I've done a YouTube
There's gonna be
channel
a lot more.
myself for about a year, and I was
Oh
releasing
yeah,
a video
nice.
once a week. I was recording
Yeah,
it ahead of time and doing, and of
yeah.
course, I felt the same way you felt, the intimidation at the beginning and all of that. And I realized that I've made mistakes along the way. In the beginning, my videos were so long because I wanted to share so much information. And then eventually I started to cut it down, cut it down, cut it down. Right? And then you're like all
Yeah.
wrapped up around the SEO and the tags
Oh
and
yeah.
oh my goodness, it is quite a journey. The journey of
Uh,
entrepreneurship is one hell of a journey. You're learning
it
as you
is.
go. And you need to
Oh
know
yeah.
you're going to be making mistakes and you're going to try something, it's not going to work, you're going to try something else, and hopefully the next one works. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And yeah, you get into that fast lane, and then you hit a brick wall, and then you just have to jump through it,
Yeah.
however you can, however
Yeah.
it is. So like in Slovenia specifically, we have a card legislation about what does it mean to be a sole proprietor and stuff like that. And that's one of the worst things here. It's like like specifically, this is the funniest thing is if I sell to people in the US, I don't pay a value added tax. If I
Okay.
sell to anybody else in Europe, I have to pay a value added tax. And then it's like, how can I differentiate between those and all of that? And like
The
we
logistics
figured it
behind it.
out. Yeah, we
Yeah.
figured it out. Well, it's pretty much just not selling to anybody else besides in the US, which is the solution.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
eventually, right, if I want to do subscription based and stuff, that's not going to happen. I'm definitely going to have like people from Europe and stuff. And then it's going to become an even bigger issue. But, that's another year away. And yeah, stuff like that, pretty much.
Well, you seem to have a lot of things, a lot of knowledge, and you have a
Thank you.
path that you want to go. And I
Yeah.
guess you've learned that you'll go with the flow and see
Oh,
where
yes.
it takes you. But you have a mission and you have a
Yeah.
purpose. There's a reason why you're doing the work that you're doing. Most of us who are entrepreneurs, I would say, um, have a personal motivation behind the work that we do,
Yeah,
right? And it's that
absolutely.
personal motivation that's going to keep you moving forward. And every
Yeah.
time you fall or you think you're failing, which is not really failing, you're just learning the many ways, not how to do it.
Yeah.
And you will move forward. Before
That's true.
before we end this
Yeah.
call, what I would like for you to do is share with us, um, w- what would you say to someone out there who would love to join your programming or your coaching of
hmm
how you could help them just in a short form if they're outside here thinking I need help, right? What are you
hmm
gonna do for me?
Yeah. So pretty much what I'm going to do for this person is we're going to redo your personal brand. So that you're going to have a top 1% LinkedIn profile. After that, we're going to go and look at what your leadership style is, what your actual leadership style is versus what everybody else tells you. And then we're going to slowly start peeling off like layer by layer, like pretty much like an onion. We're not going to cry because it's not going to be that difficult or that painful, but we're going to slowly go deeper into what leadership is, what it means, how it actually serves you and others around you, so that in the end you can make everybody else around you better, which in turn is going to make you better, pretty much. And in the end, what you're going to get out of this, like as a complete package, is you're never going to be afraid of failing again. You're going to be a good leader that's on a path to self-awareness and growth, and you're never gonna fail in your career pretty much ever again. There's always going to be a job lined up. If this current one doesn't work, I left 3 companies on my own volition, one of them not, but I still got a job right afterwards. Somebody's going to find your value as long as you remain true to yourself, pretty much.
So it's making your foundation strong and then you're building on that
Yeah.
foundation.
Yeah. Because legitimately leadership, what like people, when they talk about leadership and stuff, leadership is a universal thing. It goes across industries. It goes across whether you're a manager of 2 people or a leader of 2 people or a leader of 100 people. It's the principles are the same. The skills are the same. You just need to apply them differently. And this is what we definitely cover in my program as well. And what you'll get out of this as well is like, it's going to come naturally then to you, like it did to me. I spent years training with this, and now I can actually give it to other people, which is one of the best things ever.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I could see it. I
Yeah.
could see the passion and the glow in your face when you're talking about it. It is what you love to do. It shows on our faces when we're
Thank you.
doing what we love to do. It
I
really
do.
does
Yeah.
show, and it shows on your face. It is such a pleasure having this conversation
Yeah.
with you today, Blaz.
Thank you.
And I hope that Ellis is happy
Same
with
here.
the way the conversation went. Okay, there she is giving us the thumbs up. And next time you will be with Ellis if you speak with her again in the next show. And thank you. Thank you for being with us today. All
Thank
right.
you.
You take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us today on Wisdom on the Front Porch with your host, Ellis Kirkpatrick. You can find us on our website, wisdomonthefrontporch.com, see previous episodes of the podcast, and view issues of the magazine. Did you know you can submit questions, leave reviews, or suggest topics? You can also tell us where your favorite front porch location is and what it means to you. We hope you gain value and insight from today's or previous talks. We appreciate your support for us so we can continue to provide value and expertise to you and others. Subscribe to Wisdom on the Front Porch magazine and join in next week when we bring you another great insight into the world of entrepreneur culture and lifestyle. Make today a great day. Always believe that something wonderful is going to happen.